So on this channel, I talk about everything when it comes to moving to and living in Arizona. Now, some people may think I'm biased regarding Gilbert, Arizona, but that's only because we live in Gilbert and we call Gilbert home. But I assure you, I'm not trying to push Gilbert on anyone, but it did get me thinking, why is Gilbert, Arizona such a popular place to move to and live in right here in Arizona when there's so many other great options? Again, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rich Brecklin, your Arizona real estate agent with Real Broker. I'm going to go over a few main points when it comes to Gilbert, Arizona and why it is so popular, from the economic development, the neighborhood, the culture, and just what makes Gilbert so great. So Gilbert is started as a small agricultural town. Now, I believe it was in the early 90s, there were less than 20,000 people here, and then it just exploded. And currently we have over 260,000 people that love to call Gilbert home. And I think it is the quality of life. And that goes into a lot of different subsets when it comes to quality of life. But again, we experienced this when we were doing our own research. Again, I have two daughters, married, former law enforcement, so a lot of things went into that. And for me, one thing I looked at was schools and the crime rate. I guess that's two things I looked at. But first, let's talk about the crime rate. Again, former law enforcement, so I look at things a little bit differently than your average person. I'm not saying I'm an expert of some kind. However, 13 years in law enforcement, homicide detective, there's different resources I know how to tap into and what to look at. When I look at Gilbert's sheer size, almost 300,000 people, and I look at the type of crime that had, I'm mainly looking at violent crime and what goes on there, and Gilbert ranked much, much lower than a lot of other areas of similar size. And that's why it's gotten a lot of awards for being one of the, the safest communities to call home and live in. So for me, that was a huge win. And it's a reason why, that we put Gilbert so high up on our list when we were initially doing our search, is that low crime rate. And from what I can tell, the police department is, funded very well staffed, and I really don't hear of any issues, but mainly I don't have the violent crime here in Gilbert that we did back in Illinois from the smaller town we lived in, which had a lot more homicides than what Gilbert has. And it was, a third of the size. So for me, that was a huge factor, is the crime rate. And then when it comes to schools, and I've mentioned in other videos, Arizona, it sometimes gets a bad rap when it comes to the school district because of, maybe they're not funded as well as they should be. However, when I look at Gilbert schools, I go to greatschool.org, I look at the rankings, I look at reviews, I've talked to other people, get to experience it firsthand. My daughter's in school in Gilbert, and we could not be happier. Again, we came from Illinois, private school. I went to private school my whole life, but the education they're receiving here, and then just the quality of teachers. Again, you have so many people moving here and calling Arizona home, so you get a lot of different perspectives, but we love the schools here. We're so happy with where our daughters have ended up. And then, look for yourself. Go to greatschools.org, go to niche.com, talk to other parents, and talk to the administrators of the school. Get a good feel for it. But the way that Gilbert was ranked with their school district definitely put us at ease, and one reason we were happy to call Gilbert home. Staying with quality of life, obviously, crime, schools are important, but where you actually get to live and call home. So there's a lot of different types of neighborhoods to choose from in Gilbert. I'm not a golfer, but if I was, look at Seville. It's a golf club community. If you want to go live in the golf club, golf course, that country club lifestyle, then Seville would be it. If you want to live on the water, maybe you like to go on the pontoon boat and sit in your pool and overlook the lake, Five Vista Lakes, the islands, some great options. For us, we chose Power Ranch. One, you have schools right there in the community. You have 2 lakes, you have community pools, walking trails, and for us, we came again living on acreage, away from everyone. This is really that community feeling we were looking for and that quality of life. So that's been huge. But I don't try and push neighborhoods on people, but there's just a lot of options. Another one of my favorites is Agritopia, and that'll be linked right up there. Watch it after this video. But Agritopia is a great community also. Again, back to those farming roots, which Gilbert was really created from that agricultural background. But yeah, the neighborhood selection options was a huge factor for us. Another is the growing economy. Now with Banner Health here and so many other of these tech jobs here, even if they're not here, they're close enough by. With the Facebook data center in Mesa, you have Chandler nearby with all of the tech, and then also so many different startup companies here in Gilbert in that entrepreneurial, easier for me to say, spirit, where I see more and more business leaders and creators and owners right here in Gilbert, and it's really cool to see and to see them develop. And just being around that type of mindset for me, someone who's always looking into different businesses to help with, I love that, and I love just the community involvement that you have right here in Gilbert. But the economy it's just really strong here. Next is the community involvement. How do the residents feel about that town? I've never lived somewhere like Gilbert where people could not be more proud to call Gilbert home. And you see that. I mean, the streets are super clean. I don't see trash, just scattered around. I wish people would push their shopping carts back. That's a whole nother video. But the people care about where they live. I mean, go downtown Gilbert on a Saturday and check out the farmers market. It's packed. People love to be in Gilbert, and the community loves its town. And to me, when you have that, and really from the top down, that everyone else gets to experience and feel that as well. So the community involvement, that community feeling, again, was another pro for us. And I think that's why other people are also choosing Gilbert is, again, you watch people like me create these videos about Gilbert, why we love it. And if I didn't like Gilbert, I know you may not believe this because there's so many creators putting out nonsense out there. If I didn't like it, I would tell you, I don't like it, don't move here. It's easy to see why Gilbert is as popular as it is. I mean, I could go on and on about a lot of things I didn't cover, just the parks and just the amenities. Everything you want is right here with more coming. So if you're looking to make Gilbert home, reach out. My contact info is below. Happy to answer any questions you have. It's Rich Brecklin, Real Broker, Arizona Real Estate Agent. Watch this next video and I will see you on the next one.